If you live abroad or have assets in multiple countries, you're probably asking yourself whether you can set up a trust in Dubai or not. Well, yes, you can, but the better question to ask is, does it make sense for your situation? And if so, under what conditions does it make sense? And how do you make sure it actually works the way that you want it to be? For international families, business owners, and asset managers, trust laws can feel like a patchwork. What works in Jersey or Cook Islands trust structure might not be suitable in Dubai. And the issues get even more complicated when you're not a resident of the country where you want to set up the trust. And that is what we are going to cover in this video in detail today. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Baid and I'm the founder at Lepidus Wealth, where we help clients and families protect their assets using a range of tools including trust, foundations, wills, and offshore structures. So if you own a business or real estate, don't wait until a legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting what you have built. Instead, request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link below. You can then implement it step by step as your journey progresses. Now, coming back to the topic, Dubai offers a unique structure here where we have fully regulated trust structures inside common law jurisdictions such as DIFC and ADGM. And these are not offshore in typical sense. They are well recognized, internationally respected, and completely open to foreign nationals whether you live in Dubai or not. You don't need to hold a residence visa. You don't need to be physically present in the country, and you don't even need to be a tax resident in the UAE. In fact, most clients who set up a trust in Dubai are foreign nationals with global families and cross border investments. Let's look at how that works in practice. In Dubai, the two key jurisdictions for trust are DIFC and ADGM. Both are English common law jurisdictions with their own independent codes and trust laws modeled on well known regimes like Jersey and Cayman Islands. That means if you are used to the concept of a trust from UK, Singapore, or offshore background, you will find Dubai's structure familiar, but often more cost efficient and more accessible. When you establish a trust in DIFC or ADGM, you don't register it publicly. Unlike foundations, trusts are private instruments. They are governed by a trust deed and overseen by a licensed trustee. And here's the key thing: as a foreigner, you are allowed to be the settler, the person who creates the trust, and you can name any beneficiary you like, including yourself. Many of our clients are high net worth individuals who live in Europe, Asia, or Africa and want a neutral jurisdiction to hold family wealth. They might use a Dubai trust to hold shares in a family business, to safeguard real estate investments, or to create a tax neutral vehicle for succession planning. A trust in Dubai can hold almost any type of asset, provided it complies with the basic anti money laundering rules and passes trustees' due diligence checks. The assets can include cash, shares, real estate, IP rights, or even offshore companies. And you're not limited to assets inside Dubai. In fact, most of the value held in Dubai Trust is located outside the UAE. Now, that brings us to the practical part. How do you actually create a trust in Dubai if you're not living here? Well, the first step is to engage a licensed trustee. In DIFC and ADGM, trustees are regulated financial service providers with strict compliance obligations. You don't create the trust yourself, the trustee does it for you, a service that we also provide here at Lepidus Wealth. And based on the instructions that you provide, we create the trustee that governs the trust. You will go through the full onboarding process. This includes KYC, source of funds verification, and asset disclosure. Most trustees will require notarized ID documents, proof of address, and supporting documents for assets you want to transfer into the trust. Once the trustee is satisfied, the trust deed is signed and the trust comes into existence. There is no public record, the trust is not listed in a registry, but from that point on, the trustee has legal ownership of the trust assets, while being bound to manage them in the best interest of your named beneficiaries. You can reserve some powers in the trust deed. For example, you can act as an investment advisor or retain veto rights over certain distributions. You can also appoint a protector, a third party who oversees the trustee and can replace them if needed. This allows foreign clients to feel secure while still giving the trustee the legal authority to administer the trust. One of the biggest benefits of using a Dubai trust as a foreigner is that it gives you a neutral and stable jurisdiction to separate ownership from control. That separation is what makes a trust so powerful. If you face legal claims, divorce, inheritance disputes, or even political risk in your home country, the assets inside the trust are protected. They're no longer yours legally, and that legal distance is what creates the protection. Another benefit of creating a Dubai trust is estate planning. Let's say you live in a civil law country where forced inheritance laws applies. That means you can't freely distribute your estate the way that you want. But if your assets are already inside the Dubai trust, governed by the common law rules, you can create distribution plan that reflects your wishes without the interference from local succession laws. Of course, there are limits. A Dubai trust is not a magic bullet. It won't exempt you from tax reporting obligations. If you are a tax resident in a CRS participating country, the trustee will likely report the trust under CRS. You still need to declare your interest in the trust if your home country requires it. Also, the trustee will not accept just anyone. They will conduct full due diligence, and if your background or assets raise compliance concern, they can decline to proceed. That is why working with a qualified advisor, such as here at Lepidus World, who understand the regulatory expectations is very crucial. And finally, we should discuss cost. Setting up a trust in Dubai is not cheap. You will pay a legal fee to draft the deed, onboarding fee for the trustee, and annual administration cost. For most clients, this is justified by the size and complexity of their assets. But of course, it is not for everyone. So, can a foreigner create a trust in Dubai? Well, absolutely yes. But it's not just about permission, it's about the purpose. The question to ask is, what are you trying to achieve? Asset protection, legacy planning, cross border structuring, or all of the above. If these goals align with what a Dubai trust offers and you meet the compliance standards, then yes, it's not only possible, but it may be one of the best decisions you make this year. As I mentioned earlier, if you own a business or real estate, don't wait for legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting your wealth. Many people think asset protection is only for ultra wealthy. But the reality is that some of these solutions cost as much as setting up a free zone company in Dubai. If you want to secure what you have built and ensure your legacy, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're serious about building long-term financial security, you should really check out my next video right here.